Hey, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Golf Parfection podcast. Just want to say, first off, thank you for those who are subscribed and continue to watch my content. You guys make it all worth it. And this is what this podcast is all about. This is a celebratory 2,000 subscriber, milestone. Ask Me Anything podcast where pretty much I ask the community that has been developed through this channel for questions about myself and about the channel and about golf. As a result, this is what comes out of it. So I had great questions coming from Instagram, Discord, and YouTube. So we'll go through these. I've ordered them in a way that I thought would make the most sense, but let's jump right into it. All right, for the first question, can we play around together? And absolutely, yeah, we can. I know. So for me, I don't do this full time, and I usually have time to play on the weekends. And usually I, put people in my group who are closest to me in my circle. But then there's also sometimes where I need to fill out the foursome to get another person. And what I do is I reach out to people on my Discord or in Instagram. People have DM me in the past and who have shown to be reliable to show up. And that's how I coordinate my rounds. So join the Discord. That's how I pretty much have people join me when I play. And it's always a great time. Everyone's great in the community. Everyone who I've met in person has been awesome. And I plan on, just coordinating with people in the community through those means. And that makes it the easiest because whenever people, message me on or comment on a YouTube video saying, hey, can we play? It's actually really difficult. It's like trying to play like telephone through YouTube comments that aren't very active, whereas like Discord is immediate and you just type and I can just type and people can respond if they're available. So yeah, that's the one thing that I found out having this YouTube channel is a lot of people want to play golf, but it takes, two people, I guess, to tango per se and set up a round. So Discord is definitely the probably easiest avenue, followed by directly messaging me on Instagram. So coming up next, someone asked goals that I've set for myself this year. I think I talked about it maybe a little bit, and pretty much the golf game has gotten not so great since I've started this channel, because when I first started this channel and like the pandemic and everything was going on, pretty much I was golfing like every weekend with every free moment, going to the range and everything. But now that things have settled back down, people are getting married and people are, having more events, less time has been dedicated to golf and the channel, admittedly. And I've definitely have slumped quite a bit because I just haven't been playing as much. And, that's kind of exactly what golf is. You get exactly what you put into it, and I honestly haven't been putting a lot into it, so I kind of want to get back to where I am, and I want to kind of make maybe a series, detailing how I'm going to start practicing to get better from both the, practicing the swing aspect, but then also maybe the mental piece as well and working on the mental side of the game. So stick around for that, but that's pretty much my main goal is to maintain the channel as it is, trying to keep a consistent release schedule, but then on top of that, also, get better or back to where I was playing wise, because the game is definitely slumped, and you'll see that in some of the upcoming videos for sure. All right, so next question is, the YouTube channel currently going how you envisioned it when you started? What are the unexpected benefits and or negatives from it that you did not consider when you started? So pretty much I'm very happy where, the channel itself has grown to. And the best benefit, obviously, is the community and people who I've met through the channel, through golf, and people who enjoy golf. And I've played with quite a few people that I've met through the channel. So if you play with me, if you know. I appreciate you all, those who have been able to come out and play around with me. That was probably the main benefit and like cool, unexpected benefit of this whole channel or Golf Parfection, is basically getting to meet everyone and interact with like-minded people, who enjoy golf. And on top of that, we've always, in the Discord, I'm always going to mention the Discord quite a bit. We talk about a lot of other stuff too, so not only golf, but other random things as well. So, some negatives, I guess you can say, is that, I guess I feel more accountable to post content more regularly, even though this isn't my full-time job by any means. And sometimes it's a grind, and there's questions about like the grind itself later on. But something that I feel not like I owe it to anyone, or no one expects me, or is asking for me to deliver content on a weekly basis. But I want to keep it up. I feel, and then this is what what YouTubers, I guess, feel all the time, is that they want to keep that schedule because they feel like they'll fall behind. So, that's kind of like a negative, I guess, that came out of it. But the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. And if I were to stop posting videos, I'd still be, a part of the community that, that's been developed, created as a result. And I really, cannot be more thankful for that. Now I have a bunch of people that I know who like talking about golf and can go play on a whim, and I can round out a foursome. And so, yeah, that's definitely been the best benefit of this channel. All right, next up, someone asked, I practice 3 days a week at SJ Muni. When can I see you? It really depends, so I only play SJ Muni now after work, maybe in the mornings, quick 9 on the weekends, or if I play a full 18 on the weekend. So take that for what you will. I only go to SJ Muni now for the after work round. But yeah, pretty much won't be able to cross paths like early in the mornings anymore during the weekdays. All right, someone asked, how do you find the time for everything? What's your schedule look like? So yeah, I think that's the main thing, is time. If I had more time, make more content, and I'd edit more content. But yeah, this whole channel, or this whole creative process is very time consuming, and I try to balance my life and my marriage and my friends and my family, all with this channel. And you got to find the right balance. But my schedule just looks like, hey, if I edit a video, I just try to dedicate some time here and there across the week, so I don't find myself editing at the last minute on a Sunday night and uploading a video for viewership on Monday. So I just kind of take it in bits and pieces, as the week goes on after I film some content, and then I just edit every once in a while, a couple hours a night. And pretty much that's how the schedule looks like. So unfortunately, and there's a dog barking right now, like our neighbor's dog, but unfortunately, yeah, content when it's time to film, because it's been so rainy, I haven't been able to film all that much, because the courses weren't good enough to go play in, and I got really behind on content. And so these past few months have kind of been a grind of just trying to get out there, even if the conditions aren't that great, and just play so I can film something in order to have something on Monday. So I've been trying to figure out ways to fill the void, either making a podcast or doing a ranking the best courses in the Bay Area videos, stuff like that, or indoor. I plan on doing some indoor sim stuff with, TrackMan and doing some numbers. So there's ways to get around that. But yeah, that's pretty much what the schedule, there is no schedule per se. It's just me, trying to manage and budget my time wisely to maintain balance of, everything that is important to me in my life. All right, someone asked, have you found that most golf courses are supportive of filming on the course? Also, are there any courses that haven't allowed you to film? So I pretty much don't tell the course that I'm going to film ever. The most important thing for me is making sure that people in my group are okay with it. So that's why I usually round out a foursome, is everyone's kind of knows who I am and what I do. And I never hold a group back with filming. That's my number one thing. So outside of, me, I play pretty much just as fast filming as I do not filming. And if my group is and people maybe who've played with me kind of know, if my group is kind of slowing down, I kind of, get antsy and then tell them, hey, come on guys, let's pick up the pace. Because I don't want people to associate me filming and leaving a negative viewpoint of, I guess, golf filmers or YouTubers on the course. I don't want them having a negative mindset, especially towards myself. So I always keep the pace, but I've never had a course where I say don't film. I don't ask, because my setup is very minimal, and honestly, it's not even like I'm filming or doing anything different if I were just to play around. I have heard that some bigger YouTubers, like Garrett from GM Golf, he tried to do Pebble Beach and they didn't allow him to. I did Pebble Beach. I just didn't even say anything. I just went with it. And my setup is just in my push cart, right? So it's not even there. So yeah, I'm not filming with another person that's filming me. So yeah, just gonna have to ignore the dog. But pretty much, yeah, I haven't had anyone or have any courses tell me not to film. And if someone has told me, in person in my group that, hey, they prefer me not to film, then obviously I'll honor that and I won't do that. But I try to hedge by having a full foursome, and then people know what I'm doing, and so they don't have a choice. All right, someone says, and since it's an AMA, what are your other hobbies outside of golf? So, hobbies include, I used to be super into cars. I used to have a Fiesta ST manual hot hatch, and I would track it at all the tracks that are in California, which is quite a few in Northern California. So like Laguna Seca. I've never been to Sonoma, but I love Thunder Hill, both tracks. And I've been to Buttonwillow before. But yeah, I used to track a lot, work on my car, and I used to film a little bit of content with that. And my friend also, he has a YouTube channel called Zygreen. I would help him back in the day. He's all on his own now, but I would help him back in the day, film his stuff. So I was always like into the content kind of scene, like making videos and stuff and editing videos. And so, yeah, that was another hobby of mine. I have a ton of hobbies, by the way. We can connect anything. Like I like the 49ers. I cheer for the Kings, like the Beam. Yeah, pretty much now I've gotten recently into trading cards. So I've actually made another channel on trading cards. Doesn't have very many subs. And it's kind of liberating to make content for that, because I don't have to post on a schedule, and I could just post whatever I feel like. And it's really easy to film trading card content. So subscribe to that if you're interested. But yeah, those are kind of the things that I'm currently into. I used to be into woodworking. I built some stuff around my house. And yeah, I have a 1985 Toyota Corolla hatchback. So if you know, you know. But yeah, definitely was into cars. And so that is the current hobbies outside of golf. All right, someone asked, what are my favorite courses in the Monterey Peninsula outside of the Pebble Beach gates and inside the Pebble Beach properties? So that's really, I mean, I could dedicate a whole podcast to that, but like my top courses just of all time are, you know, two of them are within Pebble Beach gates. And if you watch my videos, you probably know which one is my least favorite. But yeah, there's so many good Monterey courses. I think best value is actually Monterey Pines. I know I've made a video of how Pacific Grove is probably my favorite course, and there's a few, you know, sentimental factors that make it my favorite course. Like objectively, I don't think it's, you know, that great, especially the front nine. I think that if you're gonna go Pacific Grove, just play the back nine early in the morning and be the first ones out and experience the back nine. And I think you should be set on Pacific Grove. Other than that, I'd probably spend the money elsewhere. Check out Monterey Pines for a really good condition course. Yeah, and so many Monterey golf courses that I'll probably just do a review on all of them, just talk about each individual one, which ones I think that are really good. So I really appreciate that question though. All right, so someone else asked, courses outside of California that you want to check off in the future. So, all right, so outside of California, yeah, obviously there's like a ton of golf courses out there, but Bethpage is something that would be pretty cool to visit. I'm actually going to Arizona to play some golf courses as well for a friend's bachelor party. And so that'll be pretty awesome. But yeah, in terms of like ones that I really realistically want to get to is probably like Bandon Dunes. I've heard so many great things about Bandon. And so that would probably be like something realistic. Other than Bethpage, I would like to check out Bethpage as well. But those are some courses that come to mind for sure. So someone asked, I follow a lot of YouTubers of all varieties. They always mention burnout at some point. Have you ever felt that after a few years with your own personal content creation and keeping up on a weekly basis? And does it feel like a job? Definitely there has been moments of burnout. I think, you know, sometimes when I'm editing a video, especially if it's a video where I haven't played well and I have to watch back myself play pretty terribly, that's when I feel burnout the most, because I'm just like, you know, it's just grueling in terms of, you know, having to edit my swings and then edit the shot tracers of me hitting poorly. And then, yeah, sometimes it can be kind of, you know, kind of a downer, but for the most part, I do just enjoy filming and making content, and I only get burnout when it's like a video that I don't super care for. But some of the videos that I make that I think that aren't going to do well do very well. So the algorithm is very strange in that way, where it'll, you know, some people it'll reach a wider audience than I thought it was going to reach, and it does well. So can never really tell if something's going to do well or not. So I try to take, you know, put all the same amount of effort into all the videos that I create for sure. But definitely there's burnout after a few years. It doesn't feel like a job because it isn't my job. If it was my job and I went full time, you'd probably see a lot more quality, I think, and then also a lot more content in general come out. But yeah, I have a 9 to, and speaking of jobs, someone asked, you know, what I do for my job. I'm I live in the Silicon Valley and I have a tech job. That's what I tell people, like a 9 to 5 tech job, Monday through Friday. And so I only have opportunities to play golf on the weekends. So I'm kind of just like a weekend warrior. I try to be like a golfer of the people, like I don't ask for any special treatment that I'm filming. I don't ask for like discounts or anything. I pay for all my rounds. I pay for all my lessons. I pay for everything pretty much. I haven't asked for any sponsorships or anything. Not that I've been approached by anyone to get sponsorships, but I'm just like any other normal Joe Schmo in terms of I just happen to be pretty good with the camera and some editing software. So that's just a little bit of what my job is and the whole spiel about being a creator. So someone also said, also to piggyback on this, do you interact a lot with other YouTube golfers / social media golfers? What's your general perception of them, and how open are other content creators in collabs? So that's a great question in terms of collabs. Even myself personally, because I don't have a lot of free time, collabs are cool, and I'm sure there's benefits, mutual benefits for both parties, but I tend to stay away from collabs because once you start collabing with someone, the workflow in which to produce a video that you can release exponentiates in terms of time. And like for me, since, this isn't my main gig and I have a 9 to 5, I don't have a lot of spare time to kind of break away from my groove in terms of editing to do any collabs. So people have approached me for collabs and I've had to respectfully decline or push it away because, it's just really difficult when people say, hey, let's collab. Like, first of all, what does collab mean? Does it mean filming a match? Does it mean filming 2 people? It's just, there's so many questions. And like for me to kind of throw a, curveball in my filming process, and then also, like the creative process, it really sets things back in terms of what I'm able to produce. And maybe it's stifling my growth. Yeah, maybe like if I would collab more, I'd grow more as well because, the audiences combine and you get exposure from both audiences. But I'm not really in it for, yes, I appreciate the growth of the channel and I would like to see it grow more, but I'm not really in it for that because it's just it's a passion project. It's more of a something on the side. It's not my full-time job, so I don't feel super pressured to have to grow a ton, and I'm okay with how things are growing. Sure, I'd like more, but hey, what the numbers are, and I don't and it doesn't really deter, or it doesn't really bother me that it's not growing. If I get a video to bombs, it gets less than 100 views, so be it. Sure, I won't be that upset because my livelihood and income doesn't depend on that. So maybe in the future, if I start growing bigger, I'll collab more. But for now, that's kind of what my perception is or that's my mindset around collabs. But in terms of my perception of other, I guess, YouTube golfers or social media influencers, I think it's all fine. Anything that grows the game is good. I could probably do a whole nother podcast about certain types of social media, golfers and influencers, but I'll save that for another conversation topic. All right, so someone asked, and then John, appreciate you for asking all these questions. Courses in California that you have not played yet that you want to check off. So just in Northern California specifically, it's got to be Presidio. I mentioned that in my top Bay Area golf courses. But after I play Presidio, I pretty much have almost run out of public golf courses to play in the Bay Area, which is kind of crazy. Other places in California, obviously you got Palm Springs, that has a bunch of potential. And then SoCal itself has a lot of courses too. So there's still a lot of courses up and down California that I haven't played. And it's unlikely I'll get to all of them because I can't just like take time off work to go shoot and film. So top of mind, pretty much Presidio comes to top of mind like right away, and then courses in Palm Springs would be cool because it'd be easy to hit a lot of them up in a short period of time. All right, someone else asked how to convince your partner who doesn't like golf to let you play more golf. I think that's more of a relationship advice type of question, but I guess my answer to that is like, hey, if you are going to ask for 4 hours on the weekend to go play golf or 5 hours on the weekend to go hang out with your buds, you gotta put back 5 hours back into that relationship, and you gotta bank hours so you can use the hours, kind of thing. That's definitely a more of a relationship advice question, and maybe get your partner interested in golf. Maybe watch the Full Swing documentary together, and so you can make golf more understandable and relatable, or at least, expose, your partner to more golf stuff, and maybe they'll understand and come around to the thought of you playing more, or get them to play golf as well. All right. So someone asked, what has been the best golf purchase recent years or all time? So golf related, I think personally, and it's not really in a golf item, it's like when my wife got me my iPhone 12 for Christmas, and that was like, basically I told her like, hey, this is gonna be my last chance, my last thing to kind of like put time into as a hobby and post YouTubes online. I really like the iPhone 12 for Christmas. If you can get that for me, I'm gonna use that, go all at it, and try to start a YouTube channel. And that pretty much what birthed Golf Parfection, was that iPhone 12. I still have that. I mean, this is what my phone is right now. This is what I used to film all of my golf vlogs on for the longest time before I upgraded to my current setup. But that's not golf related. That's just one of the best purchases in relation to this whole channel and why I'm doing this podcast. And so that's got to be one of the items. But then I think honestly for me recently is my Olimar Intercept irons, my single length irons. It's kind of funny to say this, but honestly, like, I've shot my best round with these, $220 golf clubs. I've, got a hole in one with these golf clubs with the 9-iron, as you can see from this plaque behind me. And yeah, I think honestly that has changed how I play golf. And it's made my golf game improve pretty for me, and open my mind up to the fact that, like, finding, it doesn't have to be an expensive set of irons. It just has to be irons you're comfortable with and what they do on a consistent basis. So haven't really shown the best out with my irons lately. But yeah, that has probably been the best golf purchase that I've made personally recently, is the Olimar Intercept irons, the single length irons. And yeah, that's what's currently in the bag right now. All right, someone asked, you are offered $1 million if you break 75 on any 18-hole par 70-72 course in the South Bay. Which course are you playing? So I just want to be able to break 80 at courses in the South Bay. The closest that I gotten was 77 at Corica, the Corica South course. But if I were to offer $1 million, if I could break 75, I'd probably play SJ Muni just from the middle tees. And that's probably my best shot because I've played there the most in terms of the front and the back nine. I have a lot of familiarity with it. And so that's what I would pick, is that course right there. Plus it's actually from the tips, it's probably a pretty hard course, but I don't play it from the tips. So I just play at San Jose Muni and give that my shot the best. I think that's the course I have the best shot to film myself and break 80. Yet I have yet to prove that. But it's hard to get on that course and have a quick round. It gets jam-packed on the weekends and it's really slow. And so, yeah, pretty much that's the course I'd pick, though, to try to break 75 on personally. All right. John again asked a pair of questions here. Better golf feeling, hole in one or breaking 80? And I must say both feel pretty amazing, but yeah, definitely the hole in one. Even though the hole in one that I got, it was like, I vividly remember this, obviously, but like it was during the Warriors playoff run. I think it was like, what was it, last year? Let me see. Yeah, June 13th, 2022, as my plaque says. 9-iron. It was wind behind me, took one hop in and bounced in. No one was around. Someone was on the next hole on the tee box, but they didn't see it. And I just went crazy. I had a little short on it, or a little reel on it about that. But yeah, that feeling was amazing. And I've broken 80 multiple times, like off camera. And yeah, the first time you break 80, is pretty incredible, but nothing tops a hole in one for sure. All right, someone asked most memorable round and a brief explanation why. So two of them come to mind. One is when I played Pebble Beach for the first time, and I just played with one other gentleman, and it was on Memorial Day weekend on a Monday. And so it's just him and myself, and I had my little, push cart, and I was filming it, but I actually played really well. It was just fun to soak in the round, and like I was like so excited about finishing, and I called my dad on, said how I played, and I played pretty decently. Had a few. Did I have multiple birdies? I had at least one birdie for sure. But yeah, that was definitely a memorable round. And another memorable round is Tobacco Road in North Carolina. Because of the circumstance and how I got to North Carolina. Basically, there's an app called Clubhouse where I would meet with other individuals in these chat rooms and talk, like audio chat rooms. You could just only use your voice and talk to other people about golf. And we all decided to go to North Carolina to play golf. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. The circumstances, they're all strangers. Luckily, a few people from the Bay went as well. And I met with them in person before going on this trip. But yeah, we all kind of flew blind into, North Carolina to meet random strangers to play golf. And it was crazy that it actually became a thing. Like there was like 15 of us or whatever. But yeah, we played 3 courses together, and then I played a 4th course, Tobacco Road, with other people who wanted to stay a little bit longer. But it was crazy. So yeah, we played Southern Pines, Pine Needles, Mid Pines, and then Tobacco Road. And I just remember Tobacco Road being such a cool golf course, even though it's a little gimmicky. It's just very memorable because it's so gimmicky. Not too many courses where I like kind of remember most of the holes and what I did on them, but Tobacco Road is an exception, and that's a very memorable moment because of just like the whole trip itself was kind of insane. Anytime I tell anyone about the Tobacco Road North Carolina trip, their minds are always blown because this was during the pandemic too. So really cool trip, never forget it. And yeah, I still talk to those people to this day. We have like a Instagram like DM group chat that we chime in every day, and shout out to those people. But yeah, it's a good time. Someone's like, I think I already know the answer, but what's your go-to mid-round snack on the course? I need to up my snack game. All I gotta say is Uncrustables. So yes, people I guess know me as the Uncrustable guy. I bring them on the course. Personally, I don't actually like to eat a lot on the golf course because I'm just focusing on playing and then also just filming. But when I do have a chance, I like open up. I bring like 2 Uncrustables and I just like eat them really quickly, so I'll have some fuel and my hunger isn't like in the back of my mind or anything. But yeah, I eat Uncrustables. I think obviously hot dogs are really good, but I tend to stay away from anything that will like get all messy and fall and that I need to fuss with, especially if I'm only having a push cart. But yeah, Uncrustables is the way to go. All right, someone asked, would you play in a golf simulator league? City Beach in Fremont is hosting one. I actually did play in a golf sim league, and it was really fun actually. It was a pretty successful one put on by the Golf Garage, Matt and company. He put it on, and like we just played regularly. Like we had a scheduled time of like 3 people that would go play, and I would meet on a week-to-week basis while we kind of get seating for the playoffs, or if you made the playoffs, or I missed the playoffs, but it was really fun. However they do it, the simulator league in Fremont, so be it. But I had a good time in my experience. Sim golf is a little bit different. It's not comparable to real golf because, well, depending how they do putts and everything, you can't just sim golf will never be the same as real golf because you don't have putting. So our league just did a random 1 putt, 2 putt, 3 putt for based on probability for putting. And so yeah, I mean, I do think they're fun, and I did enjoy the one that I did join. And I'm definitely open to that idea of playing in a simulator league. All right, someone asked, what worst course in the Bay Area that I've played? So worst is subjective. I think from trying to be objective, like the bottom courses that I have on my list that I keep from rating all the courses is actually, and I've made a video on this one, Bayview, and then I've also put Sunnyvale, and then Monarch Bay. So those are the 3 that are on the bottom of my list. That being said, like I would still enjoy my time if I were to go play those golf courses. I just have them ranked at the bottom of all the courses. And I played a lot of golf courses, and so I'm not trying to say that they're like the worst course in their crap or whatever. No, they just happen to be ranked lower than all the other courses that I've ever played. I can even, when I'm playing golf, I just try to enjoy the most of it. And rarely is a course in such, bad conditions that I'm like, dang, this golf course sucks. It's more like when a golf course is playing slow. I think we all can agree that that attributes more to my overall experience rather than a course not being in good shape. Like if I go to a course and I read reviews that it's not going to be in good shape because they'll keep it in good shape, I'm not going to show up and complain that it's in crap shape, because I should already know that and my expectations should be as such. Sure, there can be like a switcheroo where you show up to a course that should be in good shape and then they have like burnt greens or, a lot of patchy rough or like dirt. But for the most part, yeah, like I said, I've never been to a course where I'm like, dang, this course sucked because, the conditions were bad and like I wasn't expecting it, right? So like I said, if you come in the right expectations and you just enjoy your time, you can enjoy most any golf course. Maybe there's people who don't have that opinion, but that's kind of how I think about it. So yeah, bottom courses for me, unfortunately, Bayview, Sunnyvale, and Monarch Bay. All right, rounding out the last questions here. Someone says, best way for a 15 handicap golfer like myself to start playing local tournaments. I also live in the SF Bay area. So I haven't done much tournament play, and someone asked about tournaments as well. But NorCal Golf guys, they're on Instagram. They put on tournaments, they put on like a tournament series, and I think there's a USAM tour that also puts on tournaments. Joining one of those is like definitely the way to do it, and they do it by handicaps. So you have to have an official handicap, and so they put on a good, a good series. And if you really want to get good at golf, like tournament golf probably will do that for you, because you want to succeed and you'll probably be motivated to practice because you don't want to fall on your face. And yeah, so if you can get into that, and maybe I should do that more, but I'm not sure if I can commit to that kind of time commitment. That's a good way to get your game better and improved. So kind of curtailing to that, someone asked, do you ever plan on tracking soon for golf or in general or for tournaments? I'm not sure what the first part of that meant, but playing golf tournaments, no, I don't really have the desire to play tournament golf right now. Maybe if I had more time or I had a different job that gave me more time to play golf, I would. But, I'm just trying to get out on the weekends, make content. But maybe I'll run out of things to make and that'll force me to do something like that. But for the most part, yeah, I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing and not play any tournaments. Maybe I'll enter a tournament here or there, or maybe like do more two-mans or some scrambles. But other than that, don't have any plans for tournaments in the future. All right, so the last question is, if you could collaborate with one YouTube channel for 18 holes, who would it be? That's a great question. I haven't been watching YouTube as much, and I it's not going to be good or like, some of the big guys. Well, before they got super huge, I like love Stacked Golf, where they go to like pretty much all these like thrift stores in Florida and then find clubs, and then they buy and sell, and they go to the they're just the most wholesome golf content on YouTube, and they're such positive people. I'd like to do like a collab with them, in terms of playing 18 holes with them. But there's also this other really small creator called Danny Duffs. He's like this Asian guy that I've watched his videos, and his production quality is like superior to mine by far. And he does narration, and his videos get a lot of views. I feel like, he's maybe, I haven't watched his stuff in a while because I don't think he comes out with stuff that much, but it'd be cool to do something with him for sure. Yeah, the Mulligan Golfers, they're Bay Area guys that do collaborations. But like I said, my stance on collaboration is that it's hard to collab. And so, don't have the time for that necessarily. But yeah, the local guys, the Mulligan Golfers, Stack Golf would be awesome. And then Danny Duffs, more collaborations with like Asian people, and so I want to see more Asian creators, but all right, so that's pretty much the last question that I got asked. Hopefully if you made it to the end, thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Join the Discord. But yeah, just want to say a huge thank you to anyone who has subscribed and thought it was worth subscribing to my channel. Like I said, I had this as a passion project on the side, and it's become more than I would ever hope for. So hope you guys enjoy that one. Keep chasing, and we'll see you in the next one.